Hello again, and welcome to hint video number 8, the landing gear. In this video you'll see how I made my what I call the traditional wood, some people call it the Jenny style landing gear. That's the gear that's on my Pietenpol. That's the gear that I decided to build. It's just a personal opinion. I know there are the other type of landing gear is the tube type of landing gear, the steel tube. It was just a personal preference for me to do the wood landing gear. For me personally, just my opinion, I think it fits this particular aircraft better. I feel that it looks better. Again, that's just my opinion. So that's why I went with this particular landing gear. Just a couple of just a little bit of an overview, if you will, for this video. It's going to cover the whole enchilada. It may be, for those of you who have my fuselage video, that's a pretty lengthy video. I think it's 2 hours. It may be more than that. This video may be about that long. It may be longer. There's a lot covered in this DVD. I cover hub fabrication. I made my own hubs. That's covered. The assembly of the wheels and the hubs and the spokes, that's, I believe, is covered. I say I believe it's covered because this is the first segment that I'm doing. I have not made the DVD yet, so I'm not really sure what's going to be in it and what all is going to be covered and all that. But I believe the hubs, the wheel assembly, making of the axle, brakes are going to be covered in this video. The entire brake system, from the axle, cables, the type of brakes actually used. I fabricated my own brake pedals. All that will be in here. The fabrication of the axle, which I think I've already mentioned. I made an aerodynamic fairing for the axle. That will be in here. The spreader bars are in this DVD. Of course, the actual landing gear itself, the wood legs themselves, the metal brackets. I think I've even covered cable assembly for the brace cables. All of that. Oh, and the tail, the tail wheel fabrication. I fabricated my own wheel assembly from scratch. The only thing that was store-bought was the spring that I used and the tire itself. I'm using again, the more, if you will, traditional swing arm type of tail wheel, and I fabricated mine to be steerable. So that will be in here. And I'm not sure, but the cabling, the rigging from up front back to the tail wheel may or may not be in here. I haven't decided yet if I should put that in with the landing gear, or if I should save that for another hint video, which will be cable specific. So again, this video is going to cover the entire landing gear, the main gear and the tail wheel, and all the little niceties that go along with fabricating the landing gear. I have zero experience with the steel tube landing gear, so I can't comment on that other than that this wood landing gear is one of the bigger, more challenging. It's a mental challenge. It's sometimes a physical challenge to fabricate this landing gear and get the geometry right, get the cuts right, and get it. You know, you have to worry about deck angle and all this stuff, which I'll get into in the video. But it's one of the, if not the most challenging part of the entire build for me, but I completely enjoyed it. As some of you may know, either by talking to me directly or through the DVDs, I love to build stuff. I love tinkering. I love to modify. I enjoy doing things a little bit different and kind of put my own flavor into the stuff that I make. So this landing gear build was very cool to me. It took a long time. I think the dates on the pictures will probably tell the tale, but I think I worked on a landing gear maybe a couple months worth. Anyway, I enjoyed it. It's quite involved, but very satisfying when it's all said and done. So, enough of this for now. Let me get to cranking on this DVD, and we will see you on the tail end of this, as it were, and hopefully by then you'll have enough usable information that you can get cracking on your gear, and you'll enjoy it as much as I did. All right, talk to you soon. Hey everybody, just wanted to say real quick again, thanks for checking out my YouTube videos, and just a couple of real quick tidbits before you leave. If you'd be so kind as to check out my GoFundMe page, the link is down in the description of these videos. For those of you who find it in your heart to donate for this new cause of mine, I've got another project going on, and there's some really cool things I'd like to do with this aircraft, and again, that's all explained in my GoFundMe. But if you find moved enough to go do that and donate, I've got this horizontal stabilizer skin, and donors will get their name put on this skin, and ultimately when this gets filled and the aircraft gets finished, this is going to be hung up on the wall of honor in my hangar. Just a little bit of recognition for those donors who helped make the project a reality. Another thing too is, I'm sure you've noticed that even this video that I'm making right now is of the same or worse quality than the video that you just watched, and that's because, believe it or not, this camera is the exact same camera that I filmed the original Hint videos with. So I just wanted to point that out. I'm not really sure why, but I know the video quality lacks, but hopefully the information within is worth something. And the other thing that I wanted to mention real quick is, again, these are little snippets from my Hint video DVDs, so a lot of these individual clips just kind of come to an abrupt end. That's just the way it is when I'm trying to rip these DVDs apart and re-edit them into small little segments, and they just kind of end weird at times. But that's it. That's all I wanted to say. And again, thanks, and I hope you'll come back, check out my channel, and see if there are any new videos and updates. All right, I'll talk to you then. See you.